Today I am super excited to install the random front and back camera mod, the intermittent front and back camera mod, the anytime front and back camera mod. Alright guys, here is the anytime backup camera kit. This is the full kit that does come with the switch, the camera, you name it. I already have the rear camera for the backup wired into the Tacoma, so this is the kit that will add the front camera and the ability to work with both the rear and the front camera on your factory head unit. I'll put a link for this down in the description below, but they do have other kits for rear cameras only, front cameras only, you name it. Check out their website, linked right here. Now I'm going to be showing you guys a bunch of this install just using my tailgate since it's easier for doing the video purposes, but I suppose you can do it on the inside of your truck. But of course you do need to remove your stereo. You probably don't need to remove the center console surround, but I'm gonna go ahead and just, obviously mine's already out, mainly for finding some grounds in here for a few of the wires. To get to this point right here, check out my video tutorial, linked right there. And I'll be starting my install with actually getting the camera into place on the bumper and wiring what I need to wire here under the hood and running that in through the firewall into the cab of the truck. And here is the actual camera that comes with the kit. Now I'm not sure if it's oriented a certain way, so the image would be inverted if you installed it wrong, I guess. So you can see you can install it like this with the threaded part right here on a vertical surface, or you could flip it and turn it and install it on a horizontal surface with the camera facing down here. I'm gonna try mine like this on the front of my bumper on the opening for where you can watch the winch line wind up, and hopefully that'll be fine. Depending on where you want to mount your camera, taking the front grill off helps out a lot. If you don't know how to do that, link for that video right up here. Here is where I put my camera, right in the middle of the slot that lets you watch the winch line as it's winding up to make sure everything's going okay. I'll probably end up changing out this washer. It's stainless steel right now, just considering the gap right here. Probably end up changing this out for something black, just because it'll be an eyesore. Not like you can really see it from a distance, but that's just my OCD kicking in. Now this part of the black wire from the camera, it will plug into something a little later, so I'm not going to put any wire loom around this right now. I'll run this cleaner once I know everything's working, so don't freak out seeing just a bare wire in here. For the next step, you do have an RCA wire extension. You can see right there, I don't know, maybe 5-6 feet long. Both of these ends are identical. Each has a male RCA jack and a red wire. One of these needs to be attached to stuff on the inside of the truck, the other to stuff on the outside of the truck. So I'm actually going to run these through the firewall from the inside of the truck out, because I have my S-pod and stuff, and it's easier just to feed it in there once I can see it to grab it versus trying to start it from this side and go in. Just a pain, and I don't want to have to remove any of this stuff. I will be doing that by attaching the end of this to, I have one of these snake lines. If you don't have one of these, don't worry, you can use like a coat hanger or something like that. Just tape it to the end with some black electrical tape, or maybe you could use red. And there we go, made it safely through the firewall. Now if you guys have never messed with getting stuff through a firewall before, it's probably going to be the most pain in the ass part of the install, so that's why I recommend starting with everything under the hood first, because once you get that part done, everything's going to be downhill from there. So, and again, just like with the front wire for the camera, I'm not putting any looms on this yet, just to make sure everything works. Okay guys, the next step is to take this wire cluster that has the female RCA jack, the black plug that will go to the camera, and a red and a black wire. Female RCA to the male RCA from the wires coming through the firewall. Black on this to the black on the front camera. Right there, easy enough. And then you will attach the red on this to the red on that any way you want. And of course take the black, usually means ground. I'll just be grounding mine right here, which seems to be a popular location. Next part is very easy. You will take the ABC 28 wire harness, which looks like that. I haven't removed the zip tie or anything, just to keep everything nice and secure. You will plug the male end of this into the female end of your stereo head unit. There's only one place it can fit, so don't worry about putting it in the wrong area. And then you will do the exact same thing for the next harness. This is for the switch assembly. Take the male end of this and plug it into the back right here on your head unit. Okay guys, so we're getting ready to get through the install. There are a lot of wires and things back here that gets confusing quickly, so to make things a little easier, this is the plug that will actually go into the back of your switch right here. The blue and the gray wire on this plug are not used in this application, so just go ahead and fold those up with each other and tape them off so you're not wondering when you get to the end, what the heck do I do with these two? Next step, you will take the orange and red wire from the ABC28 cluster located right here and connect those to the orange and red wire on the plug that goes into the back of your switch. Now, if you guys lack soldering skills like I do, I grabbed this kit right here. These are like self-soldering tubes of different gauge wire. I'll put a link for this and the little handy-dandy handstand really to hold the wires in place. You just select the appropriate size, slide it over one end of the wires that you're needing to solder. And in this case, I'll be doing the orange first. Take the other one, twist those together. Once you get them tight, slide this back over, so the silver part right here, which is solder, over the middle, and apply a heat gun until it is nice and strong, and you are done. Nice and easy. Perfect for people like me whose electrical skills are lacking, to say the least. So I'll put a link for the helping hands and the soldering kit down below. Boom! And that's what the finished product looks like. Easy peasy, you get the idea. Now for the next part, we will take the black wire from the switch plug and the black wire from the relay unit and twist those together. You don't have to twist them together, but these are going to be grounded, so if they are twisted together, you only have to ground them in one location versus two. So I'm going to go ahead and twist those together, but I'm not actually going to obviously ground them until I get the whole unit back on the inside of the truck. Well, that's it for today, because Mother Nature decided to be a giant and piss on me.
Son of a bitch pissed on me.
Next, this is the wire, the RCA male plug and the red wire coming through the firewall from the camera switch up front. So I'm going to go ahead and route this back there. You can see there are plenty of slack in this thing, so I'm going to go ahead and route it up so it actually sticks out up here in the center, because I'll have to splice some wires together up here. If you are at the same point like me, again, you can just use a clothes hanger or something like that, but if I had to redo it, I'd probably run this through the front down, because it's always easier to run wires down and then run it through the firewall, so that might make this a little easier, save you guys some hassle. But too late now, so I'll just run it straight up from underneath. Alright guys, getting ready to bring the head unit back in and start getting everything plugged together, but as far as grounding those two wires, I did go ahead and put on the faceplate surround for the head unit, and when you do that, it covers up two very nice grounds you could use, hidden right back here and over here, and the wires coming out of the back of the unit just aren't long enough, so I'm actually going to extend those wires, I guess, down and back through the footwell with the pedals. And when you remove this plastic piece right here, I'm going to use this bolt right here as a ground. It's attached to a piece of metal which is actually touching the metal body of the truck back here, so that should be good to use as a ground and much easier to get to. Alright guys, the next part is sort of going to be difficult to film since we have to take the whole unit and really get it into place, but we are going to be taking the green wire from the switch, connecting it to the green wire from the relay, and connecting both of these, going to the inside of the truck, with the red wire from the RCA line that went through the firewall. You can attach these however you want. Since this is just an interior application, I'm just going to twist them together tightly and put one of these twist caps on them. I'm sure I'll get flamed in the comments, but should work since this is just going behind the head unit. At the same time, I know I'm walking all over the place, you will take the female RCA port from the relay and plug that into the male RCA port on the relay coming through the firewall. After I do that, I'm going to run my grounds back and down where I'm going to ground those, and then just plug everything back in on the stereo, remembering that those two main plugs will plug right in here to the back of the ones we plugged in right there. Hopefully that all makes sense. I probably did a terrible job explaining it, but you guys get the idea. And of course, as you're getting all of this into place where the head unit actually getting installed, you will take the actual white plug for the switch, which I have in my hand right here. And the easiest way I found to mess with this, since it is very tight down here, I'm just going to put my switch right here. That's where this is designed to fit all these bottom ones if you have an opening. Once you get the faceplate back in for the head unit, the plastic surround center console, it's very tight back there, so I'm going to hopefully be able to hook that part of the plug right here and have enough slack to plug it in and then just push the switch in from the outside. And sort of like an extra set of hands here, I just have an old towel I folded up. It's resting on my shifter right there. It's doing a good job of holding the head unit in place so I don't have to mess with that while I try to get all this organized mess of spaghetti organized to the best of my ability. Making progress. As you can see, got the switch connected. Now I'm going to leave this out of the socket right here just in case something is malfunctioning. I'm going to make sure it works before I actually push that in there, because it's very difficult to reach these back here, even with the head unit out, and I don't have giant hands. If you guys have big hands, this will be a pain, so just leaving this out for now. Okay guys, got everything connected, grounded, switch not pushed in yet. Obviously the head unit also not pushed in, you can see right there. Just want to make sure everything is working. Got the truck engine not on, but in the on position. The switch is illuminated, so that's good, I guess. Go ahead and hit to the rear. And you can see that by default goes to the rear camera. And now for the front. And it is working. Super pumped about that. The only problem is, obviously, I need to move the camera. It is right in front of my fair lead. I'll show you again in just a second. I feel like it'll be a lot more useful if I move the camera up, so that will be the next step. And right now, just going to get all this tucked away, reinstalled. And a quick night shot for you guys of the switch, sort of like an aqua glow. Doesn't look like it's really showing up on camera, but if you push it on the bottom for the rear camera, you get an amber indicator and then another amber. Actually, both ambers come on when you push it for the top. The stud on the actual camera is too large to slide through any of these holes on the mesh. Otherwise, I'd probably mount it right up here in the center. I don't know, maybe I'll make a little notch for that. That'd probably be the cleanest, because if I mount it up here, you're gonna see a little bit of wire right there, and that might be an eyesore. Regardless of what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna do that today. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all cleaned up so I can get the video out for you guys. But if you have any other suggestions where you think I should mount the camera a little higher up, please comment below, let me know. All right, everybody, that will do it for this video. Comment below, let me know if you plan on getting one of these Anytime camera mods for yourself and what you think of it in general. If you did enjoy the video, please consider giving it a big thumbs up, as it really helps the channel grow. Thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video.